What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solomon Circus live video. Today on the left side here we have Sprite getting 2 support from the Battle of Legends as well as Infinite Forbidden, getting the copy of Mirror Mage, letting us summon out a copy of the Totally Awesome, as well as the Silhouette, as well as the Q Biko, being a trap that you can set from the deck, which is a level 2 monster, which is pretty nice, as being a kind of like a bounce, a lot of bouncing effects in the Sprite deck. Going up against Melodious in the right side here, we see Melodious end up taking the dive roll win, being able to start off with a copy of the first movement solo, summon a copy of the Refrain here. Refrain is going to be able to activate the effect, searching for the copy of Couplet. Couplet can then activate, summon out a copy of the Soprano from the hand. We then activate the copy of Couplet, and it's going to let us search for the copy of the Cupra here, or of the, of the Concerto. Concerto is going to activate its effects using the Scale to summon out a copy of the Baka. Baka then activates its effects as well as, being Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 3, the Scales. We summoned the copy of Shapina. We have done this combo many times before. If you guys want to be seeing the combo video, definitely check out the channel. It's all over the channel there. We are playing pretty quick because our opponent has played the deck as well, so they know what we're doing. We're going to turbo with the copy of Etoile, being then able to summon out the Baka, as well as the copy of Concerto to put back, summon out the copy of Shapina, and then we can add back the copy of the Shaprino, whatever. We then Pendulum summon out the copy of the Aria as well as the Shapina, or the Soprano, I should say. Then we're going to be using the Shapina as well as the Soprano to go into the copy of the Triple DD Crow, being the Shiberta. And we set 3 cards and pass. So now we have an Etoile, Triple DD Crow, as well as an Aria there. And our opponent just starts off with a copy of Pot of Prosperity here. And do we have the Ash Blossom in the hand? It looks like we do. But we let it resolve here. We see a Veiler, Toad, Imperm, Veiler, Ogre, and another Pot of Prosperity here. Now, Totally Awesome is actually, or I have to say, Swap Frog is actually a 1-card combo for people who do not know. Pretty cool. They finally have like a 1-card combo. We're going to be adding the copy of, I'm not quite sure which one they added there. Maybe the Ogre. We're going to be seeing the Fenrir being special summoned out. We do hit that with a copy of the Imperm. And then we're going to normal summon with the Swap Frog, activating its effect, sending most likely the copy of the Mage to the graveyard. Mage will then activate the effect, letting us search for the copy of the spell, which brings out the copy of the Mage. We are going to think here if we want a Shiberta banish, but it's not really worth it at this point. We haven't activated a monster effect yet, so we kind of don't want to lose to that copy of Talents they have in the hand. And we do activate the Shiberta. They chain the copy of, or no, we activate, okay, so we go Shiberta 1, activate the effect of the Etoile 2. They Ghost Ogre this, and then it's still going to resolve, and we have to summon out from the deck, or the extra deck here, but we're going to be banishing the copy of Shiberta still. And then we bounce back the copy of the Toad, and then we banish the copy of the Ice Barrier there. Well, then we're going to summon out the copy of the Baka, which can then summon out a copy of Refrain. Refrain is going to search for the Couplet. Couplet can then trigger summon out the copy of the Soprano, which can then add us back the copy of Shapina, all during our opponent's turn, by the way. Absolutely kind of crazy. Just getting those bodies on the field helps you out a lot, especially when they can't be destroyed by battle, with the copy of Aria. We see them go for a copy of the Typhon here, and that's not really going to do very much. We're going to attach it, and do we have a copy of Herald, sending the copy of the Couplet here? That's going to be devastating, and we just see them scoop it up, realizing that the game is lost. Yeah, when you have like that much, Etoile being hit with that copy of Ogre definitely hurts. I wonder if maybe we should have picked like an Imperm instead, to try to Imperm the copy of Etoile, and then we would see most likely that chain the Etoile. Or like, at that point, you don't even really need the chain the Etoile. You just like keep it there. But But it's like, do you really care about getting hit with Shiberta? But having the copy of DD Crow anyways, or the triple DD Crow, and then having the copy of Imperm alongside the Herald is very nice. Now we only have one card in the hand, so we kind of had to add a card to the hand with that for the Herald. I don't know if we would have had another way to add it, but it's kind of crazy how that happens. And then the follow-up is just insane, you know, being able to add back the fusion, and then of course the monster. Having your pendulum skills as well. Being able to search for a copy of Concerto as well right off the bat, because we don't control any other Melodious monsters. Or anything other than Melodious monsters is kind of insane. But we definitely had that one in the bag. But now we're going to be seeing Sprite going to choose to go first. Will we see a big board of red carrot, maybe a double toad, and then a double cross as well. You can also bounce with the copy of Sprind on the field. You have lots of options in this deck. We're going to be seeing a normal summon of an Angler here, not the best. But we do have the copy of Carrot, which can summon itself out as well. And that's 2 level 2s, which can go into a copy of Sprint or Gigantic. We have the Jet to summon itself out as well. We're going to search for a copy of the Starter or a Double Cross. Double Cross being a crazy of a card. Way back when this card came out, I loved it. I actually won a regionals with it in my main deck. Very crazy. I think I was playing Shifter in the tier format as well. But we're going to go for a Starter to go into a blue. Blue can then activate the effect searching for the copy of red. We take 11 here, bringing us down to 69. And we have the red to summon itself out. We can now go up into a copy of Sprint. Sprint then send the copy of Angler, because we are most likely playing 2. You definitely have to play 2, which can then summon out the Double Beaver, and we're now off to the races. We have a red and a carrot, and we also have a Gigantic line. Gigantic can summon out anything they really want to, be totally awesome there. Because we go for a Gigantic. Gigantic summon out the copy of Swap Frog. And here we kind of have to choose what we want to do. We're going to be attaching to summon out the copy of Swap. Swap's going to be sending the copy of the Mirror. Mirror is going to be searching for a copy of the Reborn. And then we link those away for, unfortunately not Sprite Elf, but for a copy of IP Masquerade, because we can go into the copy of the SP here. We then summon out the copy of the Mirror by using the spell, which can then let us go into a copy of Totally Awesome, which can summon out a copy of Swap Frog during their standby phase here. We do set the copy of Double Cross, and we're going to be seeing what I'm talking about here. Totally Awesome going to be attaching to summon out a copy of Swap Frog. Swap Frog can then dump the copy of the Destrudo Newman or whatever, making us not being able to summon with that Double Cross once it gets summoned here. Now we do have to use our board first, just by having either a negate or using the IP. We're going to activate Ostinato, and we're going to be seeing a Carrot going to be negating, sending the copy of Swap Frog. And then we have a first movement solo as well here. And now if I do remember correctly, we had first movement as well as Ostinato, and I was kind of hoping that they were going to be negating or stopping this first movement. Unfortunately, they did not, which we summoned out a copy of the Aria, which now means we can't get our stuff targeted, which is unfortunate, but still kind of good for us, which we also have the copy of Couplet, which can then search us for the Concerto. We then normal summon the Refrain here, so having a nice little Refrain plus first movement solo combo. And we didn't have any hand traps in our hand, which we are playing a crap ton of them, so most likely our hand is all going to be all gas. We search for a copy of the Sonata here, which can let us beat over stuff, as well as going to be a crazy card to let us kind of extend. And we do see the Concerto being activated, but they chain the copy of the Double Cross, summoning with that copy of the Destrudo Newman. And we're like, do you have anything to summon? I guess I have the Bloom Diva, which I have to summon. But we don't have, I think we just don't control a, I think it has to require a Maestra, if I'm not mistaken. And we just don't have access to that. So it's going to be fizzling. We do summon with a copy of the Sonata, and we have another Sonata in the hand. So now all our board is pretty huge, gaining 1,000 attack each, which kind of let us beat over that copy of Totally Awesome here. not being activated effects is kind of nice as well, just being able to summon itself out. We're going to go the Aria into the copy of Toad, and then they get to add back a Beaver for follow-up, which is going to be quite nice. But they have gone through both copies of Angler, so just having a Beaver in the deck. We're going to beat over the Newman, beat over the IP here. For anyone watching, wondering why they didn't go for an IP effect in the main phase, if they go into an SP, it's not going to do anything for us because they can't target any of our Melodious monsters. So kind of useful. They could have gone maybe into like a copy of like Appaloosa or something really weird if they wanted to, but most likely not really worth it. We do go into the main phase 2. And to go up into that copy of the Bloom. Bloom can then send the other Ostana that we had in the hand to the graveyard. And, all they have left is now one set alongside a copy of Beaver in the hand. So chances are the set is going to be a copy of Imperm, which they can't use. So we then, be able to summon out freely here. We search for the copy, or we summon out the copy of the Sonata as well as the copy of Shapina. We add back the other Sonata there. And then we fuse up into a copy of the Baka. Baka can then activate its effects, as well as the Refrain putting itself in the scale. And we summon out a copy of the other Sonata. Sonata has not triggered, so we can add back its other version of itself. Quite nice. And then we can activate the effect using all three to go up into the copy of the Etoile. And it's kind of weird because we don't want to be bouncing like the copy of Jet to the hand, neither the Carrot. But at the same time, if we stop them from having the level 2s onto the field, being able to normal summon, get the effect to summon out the copy of Angler, and then we just bounce both of those copies. They're not going to have any other like extender other than they draw into a Swap Frog, which they already have used 2 of them, so chances are drawing into a third is going to be very slim. So if you're wondering what we're going to be doing that for, which most likely we are going to be bouncing. We see the copy of Shapina being summoned back out off the Baka. We can then Pendulum summon out the copy of Shapina as well, or the Sonata as well as the copy of the Soprano, which we can then go into a copy of Shabirda here. Shabirda is going to be banishing a bunch of the targets here. We're going to be banishing a Totally Awesome, the Mage, as well as, I don't think it truly matters here. They don't really have any Reborn. We're just going to banish the red. I'm just going to get rid of cards, essentially, if they do have any like Reborns, like a copy of like Monster Reborn or anything like that, because it is possible that you do play it. I don't really feel like that would be really played. We're going to go with Twilight Effect, banishing the copy of Shabirda, and we should be banishing other cards as well here, but we're going to bounce nothing and just summon it back out. That's very interesting. I feel like we want to be bouncing back both of those. I'm not too sure why I didn't do that. Maybe I was like, okay, well, they can just summon out another copy of red, or the Carrot and the Jet, but I definitely feel like we should have done that. Forced them to have some weird lines here, but they are thinking. I suppose like they have to go into like a Gigantic now or something else like that, or just even going into the copy of these Sky Cavaliers we are thinking about here. So we're going to go up into the Sky Cavalier. And I wonder what we drew for turn. If we drew the copy of... We drew the Swap Frog. No way. That's crazy. We're going to act for the effect of Shabirda there, banishing 3. Then we're going to act for the effect of Etoile to bounce back the copy of Sky Cavalier. And we just banish some cards. And we do have Totally Awesome as well as... Or not Totally Awesome. The Swap Frog as well as the Beaver here, which we're going to be normal summoning. And we do have the Herald for that as well, which they also want a cross-out set. Unfortunately, the Herald is not in their deck. Very unfortunate. And our hand was kind of crazy, having the Herald, Ostinato, first movement solo, Refrain, and then the Sonata was the perfect hand that we needed to beat the Sprite board there, which was very, very nice. Well, regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. If you want to see some more Sprite, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be trying to make sure to feature this channel, feature this deck a little bit more, as well as Melodious. Maybe trying to have one every other second week. But yeah, don't forget to let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.